It seems like forever ago, but it's actually not even been 8 months since President Donald Trump was impeached. And one of the charges of his impeachment was for abusing the power of his office to try and sully his opponent, to use the power of the presidency to employ dirty tricks to get reelected. But since that backfired, the president is attempting a new round of dirty tricks to try and undermine the election, like slowing down the mail and demonizing mail-in voting during a pandemic that he has failed to control. And we'll have more on his attacks on the U.S. Postal Service in just a little bit, but I want you to put that aside for a second. The latest dirty trick is trying to get music superstar Kanye West on the ballot. Now, Trump and Republicans appear to be boosting Kanye West, who admits he cannot win and does not deny that he is trying to hurt Joe Biden. However, we know that a Republican lawyer named Lane Ruland, who represented Donald Trump's presidential campaign literally a week before this video was taken in Wisconsin, was actively delivering signatures to get West on the ballot in that state. We also know that the president's son-in-law and top senior advisor, Jared Kushner, met with Kanye West last week in Colorado, according to the New York Times. And it's true that Kanye West has no chance of winning, but that does not mean that Democrats shouldn't be worried about him siphoning off votes for Joe Biden or from Joe Biden. In 2016, remember this, third-party candidates Gary Johnson and Jill Stein collectively polled around 4% of the vote. And when you combine that with the WikiLeaks dumps and James Comey's last-minute letter, that was enough to put Donald Trump over the top. A new poll shows Kanye West could have 2% of the vote. Now, if you combine that with the attacks on mail-in voting, the delays in the Postal Service, Attorney General Bill Barr, well, that is maybe something the president is throwing everything at the wall and hoping something sticks so that he can sneak through into the presidency. Joining me now is the man who led the impeachment case against President Trump, Congressman Adam Schiff, Democrat of California and the chair of the House Intelligence Committee. Congressman, good to see you. I thought it was important to talk to you because people may forget. There are a lot of people who just don't like Donald Trump. They think he's crooked. But they forget that the impeachment was actually about a dirty election trick. Dirty election tricks are something you and I talked about, I think, about a week ago with the intelligence that you've had that you'd like Americans to find out about, but you can't right now. This is another one. If he's helping Kanye West to run with the aim of defeating Joe Biden, falls into the same basket.
Well, it does. It falls into the basket of a president of the United States who will break any law, rule, abuse the power of his office, who will cheat, and no stratagem is beneath him. This idea of recruiting a third-party candidate that you hope will siphon voters from your opponent, it's an old ploy, but it was among the dirtiest of the dirty tricks, and you never wanted to be associated with it. But here it's all out in the open. The president's son-in-law dispatched to meet with Kanye. They're not even hiding it. Barbara Boxer was just wonderful on your show, talked about the dog whistle in terms of the suburban households. It's not even a dog whistle anymore. It's a whistle that everybody can hear.
Right.
And this is where the president has descended to. No tactic beneath him, no bigotry too great, no racist appeal too much. No, political dirty trick beyond the pale. And the terrible thing about it is the Republicans in the Congress won't say a word. They are watching their party destroyed. They're watching the ethics of the party leader just tear their party asunder, and they don't have the guts to do anything or say anything about it. And that's what enables this.
I want to talk to you about something you and I talked about a week ago. The Office of the Director of National Intelligence issued a statement in which it said, we assess that Russia is using a range of measures to primarily denigrate former Vice President Biden and what it sees as an anti-Russia establishment. The article reads that some Kremlin-linked actors are also seeking to boost President Trump's candidacy on social media and Russian television. What are you able to tell us about this? Because you and I talked about this the other day. You and Senator Blumenthal and I talked about it. You have information that we can't have because it's classified. And I think you both share the view that some of it should be declassified. But until it is, what do Americans need to know about this?
Well, I think they need to know that the Russians are at it again. They're using a lot of the same tactics they used in 2016, that far from dissuading them, the president's words and deeds have had the effect of encouraging them to interfere again. So they're engaged on social media. They're trying to denigrate Joe Biden, and they're trying to boost Donald Trump and social media. They're trying it in overt media. They're also engaged, it looks like, in some of the same kind of potentially hacking and dumping operations. You see these hacked emails and stolen audio recordings being released out of Ukraine. And of course, the IC, the intelligence community, its recent statement pointed the finger at Derkach, this pro-Russian lawmaker in Ukraine. So it looks like they are once again laundering information like they did through WikiLeaks, this time potentially through cutouts in Ukraine. There is a lot the intelligence community can tell the American people that it has spoken broadly about in that statement, but can go into much greater detail and arm the American people with information, but also deter the Russians from the continuation of this. And you know, the final point I would make is these two questions you've asked me are related. Trump asked the Russians to hack his opponent in 2016. He then sought to coerce Ukraine to help him. He then apparently begged the Chinese president to help him, and now the Russians are helping him. And you know, in the past, American candidates for president and presidents shunned foreign interference. This president welcomes it.